This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Luca Celebre, and this is Digital Sportscentre, presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. We've got a massive Western Conference matchup tonight as the Stars take on the Oilers. And as it stands, both these teams are kinda locked into their first round matchups. For Dallas, there's a long shot they can actually win the Central. We've got 2 games in hand on Winnipeg, and still 1 matchup against them. As for the Oilers, it's looking like a 4th straight first round matchup against the LA Kings. But the Pacific is actually still in play for LA given their recent success. Those hypotheticals are the least likely outcomes. So the Stars and Oilers are most likely battling for home ice in their first round matchups, which means every point counts. The big talking point for the Stars right now is the lack of production from Mikko Rantanen. Dallas is 4-2-2 since the blockbuster trade, but he's got just 2 goals in 8 games with his new team. The big talking point right now in Edmonton is injuries to their star players, as they're taking a cautious approach in recovery for Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. In their absence, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has stepped up in a big way. In his last 4 games, Nugent-Hopkins has 4 goals in a trio of 3-point games, totaling 9 points in that span. To soccer, and the Canadian men's national team and Bayern Munich suffered a huge blow, as Bayern announced that Alphonso Davies has suffered a torn ACL and is expected to miss at least the next 6 months. Davies suffered the injury in Canada's win over the Americans on Sunday, and according to his agent, he shouldn't have been playing at all. As he said, quote, "I was surprised that he started because he had communicated he wasn't good to start. A source within CSA told me Friday night Alphonso wouldn't start, but might get a few minutes. I told them he shouldn't play at all. In my opinion, you should have managed the situation better. This could have been 100% preventable. Prior to Canada, Jesse has coached professionally at the highest level and should know very well not to take risks with players when they tell you they can't play. The national team shouldn't make emotional decisions based on individual success. I know it was a match against the US and there was a lot of motivation to win, but players' health should come first. National teams need to do a better job protecting the players." Canada Soccer released a statement saying, quote, "We want to express our full support for our men's national team captain, Alphonso Davies, as he recovers from this unfortunate injury. Fonzie's strength and resilience matches his world-class talent, and we all look forward to fully supporting him during his recovery. Canada Soccer's coaches and experienced medical staff are true professionals and have always prioritized player safety and well-being. Anything suggesting otherwise is untrue." With more on this whole situation, here's Stephen Caldwell.
Ultimately, it was a mistake from the agent. He should have took his time with that one. He should have thought about it a little bit more. And I think, and without knowing the full details, it's hard to be critical of Canada Soccer. It's one of the things ACL usually comes from innocuous things, either a stud in the turf or a tackle or a twist. It's summing out of nothing. So, the emotion and the frustration is there to be heard within that statement, but ultimately I don't think he should have made it.
To the NFL, and after what looked like a lull in free agency, we finally got some action last night. Let's start with the QB carousel, as Russell Wilson is officially a New York Giant. A 1-year, $10.5 million deal that could get as high as $21 million. And then he went full-on Russ with the lamest tweet ever, potentially. "I know you won a Super Bowl at MetLife. I get it. I understand it. There was a better way to tell the people that you're excited to be in New York." That was just so Russ. So with Russ heading to the Giants, does that mean we can safely assume that Rodgers is heading to the Steelers? They need a quarterback, and they don't have the draft capital to go get one, nor does this draft class have a lot of guys that can kind of step in immediately, and with Mike Tomlin's need to win immediately and keep that over 500 record going, I think it makes a lot of sense. The other big signing yesterday was New England locking up Stephon Diggs to a 3-year, $69 million deal with $26 million guaranteed. Diggs tore his ACL in Week 8 last season, but according to ESPN's Adam Schefter, he's on track to be ready for Week 1. I like what they've been doing. This move finally does something for Drake May as far as the pass catchers go, because that was their weakest group by far. So now you have a little more flexibility in the draft as well, and Diggs shouldn't complain about getting the ball because there's really no one to challenge him there. Time now for the Big Play Replay, presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. This next goal might not be the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, but in terms of the moment, my God, what a moment.
Morrissey retreats. Van Riemsdyk is still up in the play, lost his hockey stick. Nice pass, Ovechkin scores! Alex Ovechkin, 889!
Van Riemsdyk loses his stick, but the work of Alexei Protas all the way across And Ovechkin beats blocker side, tight against the post. Connor Hellebuyck, what a release. Absolutely amazing.
Alex Ovechkin in his last 8 games against Winnipeg has 9 goals. And the great chase, 6 to go to set the all-time record.
That was number 889 for Ovi, and he's now 6 goals away from passing Wayne Gretzky for the all-time goals record. 11 games left, 10 games left. It's gonna be tough, it's gonna be tight. I would like to see it happen this season before the playoffs, but if it doesn't, it's a nice way to bring in the new season as well, and maybe Washington goes on a run, wins a cup, and then Ovi starts next season off on home ice, 1 goal away, gets it while they're raising the banner. Storybook. All right, now literally joined by our gambling guy, Wes Chang. Great to see you, Wes.
Yo, thanks for having me, man.
All right, Wes, the Raptors are doing the whole mid-game tanking thing again. We saw it against the Wizards midway through the fourth quarter. How should these not-so-subtle mid-game tanks affect how you bet Raptors games?
Tough answer, honest answer. You should either not be betting or you take the unders. Like, that's the reality of it. You look at some of the game logs, like Scotty Barnes, 7 of his last 8 games, he played for like 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. That's the reality. That's where we are right now. So whether you like it or not, you have to live with the rotation decisions that the team's making. So if somebody like Scotty, that's a stay away from me. If there's an opportunity with other players that you think might be able to fill those minutes up, for sure. But at this point in time, unders are the way to go. Very unpopular thing to say. But that's it. That's what it comes with betting. You have the choice. You don't always have to take overs. So this is one of those times of the year. Either you just stand down or you look that direction.
Okay, so having said that, I'm sure you've got plenty of overs for your best bet tonight.
Yeah, no, I do not for the Raps. I won't do that for the Raps. But if there's a way you want to play on the Raptors' lack of starters playing, I like D'Angelo Russell to go over his scoring prop in tonight's game against a Raptors defense that's not as strong when Jakob Poeltl is not in the lineup. But one of the other things, Brooklyn's also kind of soft tanking too. Cam Johnson's not going to be in this game. When these two are not in the lineup together, D'Lo kind of has to take over the offense. And the last 2 times this has happened, he scored 22 points, 28 points. And then D'Lo's also got a good track record against Toronto in general. The thing with Brooklyn is no one really is a playmaker other than him on the court right now. So he's the only guy getting up shots. Now, whether or not he hits them, that's one thing. He's been kind of ice cold, but I think there's a good spot for him at the price that he's currently listed at.
Wes Chang, a pleasure as always.
Hey.
Hopefully D'Lo's got some ice in his veins tonight.
Yeah, give me some of that. Yes, sir.
Now you can watch the Raps and Nets tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific.